Ellis B. Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
Would I be outraged at that? Yeah. So then the question becomes, is this hate speech? And that's what the company used to justify pulling it off the internet. They pulled this web page because they called it hate speech. Is that really hate speech? As long as I've been alive, and I'm sure for decades, if not hundreds of years before that, school-age boys have ranked their classmates. And not boys, school-age kids, boys and girls, rank their classmates. Because I know that the girls in my junior high and high school did the same thing. You know, they rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, or they give them letter grades. And come on. Doesn't every junior high and high school kid do it? The only difference between these kids and you and me is we did it on 3-ring notebook paper, and they did it on the internet. Is what they did so offensive that it should be yanked? That this web page should be pulled off the internet? And you know what? This is one of those questions that I do not know the answer to. Because even though the web page gets pulled, those same boys are going to do it in their notebooks. And you know what? Some of the girls who are mentioned on that web page, I bet they rank boys too. They just didn't do it on the internet. Now, would I like to see that about one of my daughters on the internet? No, I'd be absolutely outraged. But is it something that should be censored by the internet provider? I do not know the answer to that question, but I bet you do. Here are the phone numbers. 421-KIRO, 421-5476, 421-KIRO. Toll free is 1-800-KIRO-710, and a free call from a cell phone is pound 800-710-KIRO. You can find instructions to make bombs. You can find hate groups. You can find details on how to grow your own marijuana or to turn your cocaine into crack. You can find all of that on the internet, but ranking a 13-year-old girl, that is over the line. Do you agree or disagree that this page should have been pulled? My brain tells me it shouldn't have been. Because compared to everything else on the internet, this is tame. And when I was a kid, I did the same thing on notebook paper with my friends. But my heart tells me that something like that is so hurtful to these girls that they shouldn't have to put up with that. I wouldn't want my kids to put up with that. What do you go with when your brain's in conflict with your heart? Okay, I still have one Seattle line available at 421-KIRO, and I do have a toll-free line as well, 1-800-KIRO-710. We start with Peter in the U District. Hello, Peter. You're on KIRO.
Yeah, Dori?
Yes, sir.
I use GeoCities.
Uh-huh.
And it's a free service, and you kind of sign a contract. So whatever they say is right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not questioning their ability, their right to pull it, because I'm sure that they have the discretionary right. I'm just saying, should they pull it? Is this something, based on it being called hate speech, relative to everything else that's on the internet, is this something that should be pulled?
Well, I mean, it's a free service that you sign a contract with. I don't agree with censorship, but in this particular case, I think that they had a right to do that. Yeah,
and again, I'm not questioning their right to do it. I'm just saying, should they have done it? Is this something that offends? Would they do it if somebody made a web page on how to turn cocaine into crack?
Yes, they would.
Powder into crack. Would they?
Yes.
Based on what?
On the contract that you sign with them or you agree to. So, if you have your own internet service provider and you pay money, then you can do whatever you want.
You mean you're telling me they have a lot of clauses, not just a hate speech clause?
Yeah, and, no one ever reads all that stuff, those clauses or agreements, but, I don't know, that's all I have to say. Great show, Dori. You're just awesome.
All right, I appreciate the call, Peter.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Opens up Seattle line, 421-KIRO, free from the cell, pound 800-710-KIRO, and the toll-free number is 1-800-KIRO-710, an internet site that ranked 8th grade girls has gotten the yank. Do you think it should have?
This is the Dori Monson Show on KIRO.
Hey, it's me, the Image Tech Rico guy, with good news for every red-blooded, penny-pinching office manager who's singing the blues because they can't get a good deal on a digital color copier. Those days are over, friends. Introducing Rico's Officio Color 2000 series digital copiers. With an Officio Color copier from Rico, you can now make print shop quality color copies in-house. Plus, you'll get 21 crisp, beautiful black and white copies per minute. Now, I know what you're saying. Sounds good, Image Tech Rico guy. But what's it going to set me back, this Officio Color copier from Rico? What's the price? How much are we talking? What's the damage? Well, that's where it gets really good, because these new Officio Color copiers are going for half of what you'd expect to pay for a copier to handle all your color and black and white copies. All backed by the award-winning service of Image Tech. For outstanding digital color, the name to know is Rico, and the place to go is Image Tech Rico. Call 206-298-1600. That's 206-298-1600.
If you've been waiting for just the right moment to buy a new Dodge car or truck, your wait is over. Announcing the Dodge Big Summer Clearance, where you'll find great deals on every 97 Dodge in stock, like low interest rates on Neon, Stratus, and Avenger for qualified buyers. Or get $1,000 to $1,500 cash back on select cars, or $750 to $1,000 cash back on Dodge Caravan. Select V6 Dakotas will be flying out the door with up to $1,350 off. Plus, you can get package value discounts from $75 to $1,700 on select Dodge cars and trucks. You waited a long time for an event like this. Now you can't afford to wait one more minute, because once the 97s are gone, they're gone. So get to the Dodge Big Summer Clearance before the Dodge you want goes to somebody else. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. $1,350 off select Dakotas based on 5.
Oh, Dora. I've explored the world, and I fear there are no more adventures left.
Where is the Congo?
Been there.
The North Pole?
Done that.
How about the amazing Yellow Adventure?
A banana boat up the Amazon?
No, dear. The GTE Amazing Yellow Adventure.
Ah.
It's a virtual vehicle that's come to town with computer games, fun activities, and lots of free stuff.
Shall we take the children?
Of course. This interactive experience is for everyone.
I'll have our bags packed immediately.
No need, dear. It's right nearby. No steamship trains or camels required.
Adventure, Dora. That's the spirit.
Let's go right now. The GTE Amazing Yellow Adventure can't be missed.
Oh, Dora, isn't life amazing? The GTE Amazing Yellow Adventure is brought to you by the Everything Pages directory from GTE and GTE Super Pages Interactive Services. Look for it in your neighborhood and stay tuned for more information and exact locations. GTE directories. We put more in, you get more out. Isn't it about time you called Cellular Communications, where you can get access and 30 minutes of peak cellular airtime for only $18.95, and for a limited time, free activation. Call Cellular today at 812-1776. That's 812-1776. 123, KIRO News Radio 710. The Dori Monson Show. Bunch of 8th grade boys in Palo Alto put together a web page featuring their 8th grade girl classmates. They rated them. Used phrases like wide load, 100% grade A lean meat, flirty, pretty, and plump. Their webpage got yanked. But they didn't do anything illegal. Should they have been censored? Which is what has happened here. They have been censored. Do you agree or disagree that they should have been? Noran in Enumclaw. Hi, Noran. You're in KIRO.
I think they should have been censored, because if you think back to when you were that age and a teacher had found your notes and your evaluation, what would have happened?
Yeah, but this is, they might have created this in the privacy of their home.
Okay, but, well, it's getting to where I have to quote a quote that I don't particularly like, but it takes a whole village to raise a child. And that as adults, whether it's a teacher in school or the internet provider, I think we need to be teaching children some good standards.
I absolutely agree with that, but my question is, if these kids sat in the home, the den of one of the kids and created it, wouldn't that be analogous to the teacher coming into their house and taking away something that they're working? I mean, it just doesn't seem right to me, because this is something that boys have done for decades, for hundreds of years.
But just because boys have done it for hundreds of years doesn't...
And I don't mean just boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Right.
Doesn't mean that it's something adults should allow. That as an internet provider, I would want to say, hey guys, you know, this is not the way we should be talking about other people.
I just don't know that it's going to change how boys and girls talk about each other.
Well, it's never going to change where it's gone. But what we need to do is help the kids work through that stage in life when that's what they're doing, and grow out of it, and not to teach them that it's acceptable to do.
But would we want adults to come into a kid's home, and if he and his friends had done this on notebook paper in their bedroom, would we want somebody to come into their bedroom and say, sorry boys, what you're doing is unacceptable, we've got to take that away?
Well, if I was the parent, and...
No, we're not talking about the parents here. The parents didn't take the web page off. Parents don't even know that their kids were doing this, I'm sure.
Okay, but if I'm the web page provider, I'm the adult that's previewing this, and then I'm the one that's being made aware of what the kids are doing, and then as an adult in our society, I'm sort of put in the awkward position of telling kids that, no, you know, that's not what we should be doing. You know, if it were adults doing it to other adults, that would be different.
Okay, I understand. It's a real tough call. As I said, I don't know how I feel about this one.
You know, for my son, I would hope that the internet provider would say something to him.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad you called, Naran.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I guess I feel the same way, except I'm so close still to those feelings I had when I was a kid. And I know that if I was a kid doing it, I wouldn't have wanted the internet provider to tell my parents I was doing it. Rick and Olala. Hi, Rick. You're on KIRO.
Hi, Dori.
Hi, Rick.
The only problem I have with this is, did they get permission from these girls to put their complete names on the internet? It seems to me there could be slander here.
Well, I mean, if there's slander there, there's slander everywhere on the internet.
Well, true, and I don't think it's right anywhere. Like, I've looked at a couple of the hate pages, and they're really sickening. But, you know, I didn't do that kind of stuff back when I was in school. Yeah, we would talk about girls and say, oh, yeah, this one's that, this one's that. But I've found that even though I may look at a girl and think that, gee, she's got a nice figure, the guy next to me may think she's a plump cow. I mean, this group that got together decided, okay, this is what this person is, and that may not necessarily be what they are, and I think that the girls wouldn't like to have their last names on there.
But again, let's talk about what this is. Didn't you and your friends talk about girls and rank girls when you were in junior high school?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, we didn't sit down and make out a list.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of them. I'm sure I did. I don't remember specifically doing it, but I'm sure that my friends and I did. We certainly talked about it a lot.
Yeah, I know that. I'm glad that the internet provider pulled it. I mean, if it's their company, they have the right to do what they want.
Yeah, well, I don't have any argument with their right to do it. That's
right.
For sure. I just question whether they should have done it. All right, appreciate the call, Rick.
Okay, Dori, bye.
Thank you, sir. Toll-free line opens up at 1-800-KIRO-710. We just found the GeoCities content guidelines, so we'll take a look at that and tell you what that says when we come back after a little news. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Dori Monson on KIRO.
Postseason possibilities notwithstanding, the Mariners take their last look at Jacobs Field this afternoon as they wrap up things with Cleveland before moving on to New York. Join Dave and Rick at 3:32 live on KIRO News Radio 710.
This is John Ellis. As chairman of the Seattle Mariners, I support the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. The Hutch gives hope to those suffering from serious diseases as the pioneer in bone marrow transplants. Through scientific discovery and new technologies, the Hutch also contributes to our local economy. We can all be proud of this institution of uncommon excellence. The Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, advancing knowledge and saving our lives.
Okay, let's let facts be facts. I don't scare easy, but I must state as a fact that the idea of buying a used car had me scared silly. I mean, is it really possible to buy a used car and feel good about it? It is if you do what I did. Go to Renton Honda. They have a great selection, and the salespeople were professional. Plus, it's a well-known fact that they have very good prices, and every single car on their lot is covered by the Buyer Confidence Program. So look at all the facts and go to Renton Honda, the recognized leader in Honda sales and service excellence. Hi, I'm Mary Lynn Carter for Washington Energy Services with an idea for summer. New windows. Why? So let's ask Judy York from North Seattle.
Not stop any of the cold.
So why did you call Washington Energy Services?
Their price was very fair, and my husband's an architect, and so he knows what things should cost. And they were courteous, on time, and that was really appreciated.
How did the installation go?
It was very quick. It was very well done. I was very pleased.
And now?
The house now feels beautiful. It feels warmer. All this light comes flooding in, and it has cut the noise substantially.
For a limited time, Washington Energy Services is offering up to 10% off windows, doors, or siding. Just call 1-800-398-HOME.
I am delighted.
That's 1-800-398-HOME.
For 70 years, Western Optical has supplied expert advice and the finest lenses available. For 70 years, we've been the trusted source for men's, women's, and children's eyewear. And now, Western Optical is giving you the latest in progressive lens technology from Verilux. Verilux cover lenses are the ultimate alternative to outdated bifocals and old-style no-line bifocals. They're the closest thing to seeing naturally at all distances. In fact, Western Optical guarantees Verilux covered lenses will outperform your old bifocals. And right now, get a sharp vision package including anti-reflective coating, scratch-resistant coating, and edge polishing free with the purchase of Verilux progressive lenses. That's a $114 value, and only Western Optical promises you'll look great. If you're not happy with the look of your new glasses for any reason, we'll exchange them for you. Western Optical is even a preferred provider of Regents Boeing, Health Plus, and Blue Cross. The finest lenses and frames. The sharpest vision possible. See one of Western Optical's 34 family-owned locations for details on how you can improve your sight and get a free sharp vision package.
132 at KIRO. Just one line available. It's in Seattle. 421-KIRO or free from a cell. Pound 800-710-KIRO. Time for some news. Here's Greg Herschel.
Thanks, Dory. The numbers are a lot higher than first thought. The Pentagon now confirms that close to 100,000 Gulf War soldiers were exposed to trace amounts of poison gas from exploded Iraqi weapons. But the Pentagon maintains that the doses were not high enough to cause health problems for veterans. Miami Beach's police chief says Andrew Cunanan had nowhere to run, making for a very desperate man. At a news conference today, Police Chief Richard Barreto also said the medical examiner has confirmed that Cunanan did die of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Of course, he was the subject of a nationwide manhunt after he was suspected of killing fashion designer Gianni Versace. One of the most influential jurists in U.S. history has died. Retired Supreme Court Justice William Brennan was 91. He wrote more than 1,200 opinions in his 34 years on a high court and was known as a hero to liberals. The Dow Jones Industrial Average today set its third consecutive record close. The Dow up 28.5 points to a new high of 116. Among the big winners today was Nordstrom, up more than $2 a share. Microsoft, on the other hand, down about 3.5 to close at $138 a share. It's 1:34. Let's check traffic conditions once again with Laura Clark.
And folks traveling in the Everett Hex Zone, you know how awful that is out there. It's miserable. North I-5 now. We have a brand new accident in 41st in Everett. Lane restrictions galore, so slow both directions there. Meanwhile, South I-5, just south of 405 at South Center, have a vehicle that's stalled out there, blocking the left lane on the 405 drive. Of course, we have ongoing construction work, and it looks like it may be wrapping up some road work northbound 405 near 116th. Maintenance crews out doing their thing. They were blocking the left lane. And good news for the bridges, I-90 and 520 in excellent shape. Look at traffic is brought to you by Smart Wireless. Smart Wireless offers everything you need for your wireless decision. Smart Wireless and AirTouch Cellular, the smart choice. Call 1-800-898-SMART.
Plenty of sunshine and beautiful across the region this afternoon. The mercury calling it quits at a high near 80 degrees, then turning out partly cloudy tonight, low 56. For tomorrow and Saturday, low clouds will give way to sunshine. We'll get to 74 degrees both days. Looking out to Sunday, clouds and sun share the sky, 76 for the daytime high. Monday's partly to mostly sunny with a high of 78. I'm meteorologist Jim Kosek with the KIRO AccuWeather forecast.
73 degrees in Seattle right now. We update the top stories for you at the top and bottom of every hour. Breaking news immediately on KIRO News Radio 710.
1:35, KIRO News Radio 710. The Dori Monson Show. If you're just joining us, we're talking about this internet website down in, it's on the internet, it's worldwide. But it originated down in Palo Alto, California. A bunch of 8th grade boys got together and ranked all of their 8th grade female classmates. Used such terms as 100% grade A lean meat, wide load, scary big chick. Webpage has been pulled. And when you hear about some of the stuff on the internet that does not get pulled, from hate groups and militias and pedophiles, I'm wondering if this is over the line relative to all of that. Let's get back to your phone calls. Darby in Lake City. Hello, Darby. You're on KIRO.
Hi. I would just like to say, I considering like all the other stuff on the internet, I don't think it should have been pulled. But I don't think like the stuff that they were doing was right, because my friends and I do that, but we don't like use those terms because it's sort of mean.
Sure. Yeah. And no, what they were doing was not right. And how old are you, Darby?
I'm 12.
Okay. Do you and your friends do stuff like that though? Do you rank girls?
Yeah, but we use numbers. I mean, we don't use like terms like that. It's sort of it could like really hurt people's feelings if you use terms like that.
Well, good for you. I mean, that's the right way to look at it, because everything we do has consequences, and rarely is it worth it to hurt someone's feelings. You're absolutely right about that. But you, so bottom line, should it have been pulled or not?
I don't think so, because I mean, it wouldn't have done much harm, because I don't think they were like giving out this email webpage address or anything. I don't think I'm not really sure how people could have found it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I tend to agree with you that it shouldn't have been pulled, but that the guys who did it were jerks.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice if nobody acted like that. But again, compared to all the other stuff on the internet, this is pretty tame.
Yeah.
All right, Darby, I'm glad you called. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
See ya. Craig, downtown. Hello, Craig. You're on KIRO.
Yeah, it kind of cleared it up for me a little bit when they decided to go ahead and make it public. You'd said that would we feel comfortable with school officials coming into our den, and stuff. But if the kids, like for instance, just did it on notebook paper and posted it on the bulletin board at school, it'd be the responsibility of school officials then to take that down. Right?
Yeah.
So, if they do it in the privacy of their own home, keep it in the notebooks and stuff like that, all kids do that, so that's fine. But when you go in, you cross the line when you go and, start posting things like that on, like a bulletin board, internet, telephone pole out along the side of the street.
But again, look at all the stuff that's on the internet.
Yeah, but we're talking about kids, though, and it's like the lady earlier had said that, we as adults need to, at least, indicate to them that, hey, what you're doing is not right just because, you see other adults out there doing it, doesn't mean that it's right.
Right, but we are left and right defending the rights of adults to put anything on the internet.
Well,
and I mean,
we aren't. I'm not.
Well, but I mean, society is. The Supreme Court just did.
That doesn't mean that it's right, though. Just because society says it's right, or just because society fights for that, doesn't mean that it's okay.
It sure is hypocritical to say that a hate group can detail the best way to kill Jews on the internet, but these kids can't rank their 13-year-old classmates. That seems awfully hypocritical.
We got to teach the kids somehow, I suppose. And we got to start somewhere.
Very true. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, toll-free line opens up. Let's go to Bob on a car phone. Hi, Bob. You're in Cairo.
Hi, Dory.
Yeah, Bob.
I got a quick one before the battery goes dead.
All right.
I'll turn the radio back off, but get your comment off the air.
Okay.
The objective standard for publishing ought to be what we use like in newsprint or like you use in the media. What can you say on the radio that's fair? And I think that should be the standard, and I'd like to hear your comment on what the standard is for that, for any of us. And the second thing is, that's really what the objective is. The objective standard ought to be, and not what is or is not currently on the web. And thank you, and I'll listen to your response off the air.
All right, Bob, I appreciate that. And the bottom line is what goes on the web is so far beyond what is allowed in the media that there's really no comparison. For one thing, we are bound, not legally, but economically, we're bound by some boundaries of good taste. Now, there are some people who think that I go too far on this show, but compared to a lot of other talk shows, this is like Romper Room compared to some other talk shows. And that is a very subjective appraisal of a show. But the bottom line is, if I came on, as some talk show hosts do, and started talking about shooting federal agents in the head, as G. Gordon Liddy does, or, some of the other things that talk show hosts do, that Bob Grant in New York City gets away with some outrageous things. If I did that, I don't think I'd have any audience. So I am partly bound by economics. Plus, I just choose not to do that. I couldn't live with myself if I did that. But on the internet, there are a lot of sickos out there, and their boundaries are much more relaxed. And the Supreme Court has reaffirmed that in this last week. That while we are bound by using the truth as our defense, yes, there are a bunch of lies floating around the internet, but how do you police that? How in the world would we ever police that? So it's just not feasible when you have an open forum, as the internet has become. So I guess I disagree that I'd like to see the internet bound by the same regulations, be them moral or legal, that the media faces.
Dori Monson on KIRO News Radio 710.
When you've had one of those long, hard days at work.
Yeah, we feel your pain.
But cheer up.
We've got news, sports, traffic, and weather together.
And a dose of the unexpected.
Share your ride home with Greg and Val, the KIRO Afternoon News. Weekdays here on KIRO News Radio 710.
U.S. West Small Business Group, can I help you?
Yes, I'm opening my second real estate office, and I need to find an easy way to direct customers to agents who specialize in specific areas where they're looking for homes.
We can set that up for you with business voice messaging.
Oh, show me around this idea.
Well, first of all, with business voice messaging, multiple calls can be answered at the same time, even when the lines are busy, so you don't miss opportunities.
This doesn't sound like swampland.
No, ma'am. And the business voice messaging optional feature called call routing allows the customer to direct their own calls. For example, your message could say, if you're interested in Lakefront Paradise, press 1. If you'd like Hillside Heaven, press 2.
Well, sell me a bridge. My customers can be directed to a specific number? Mm-hmm. Let's close this deal.
Here, you can locate business opportunities with business voice messaging. Call the U.S. West Small Business Group at 1-800-603-6000. U.S. West. Life's better here. Don't miss another business opportunity with business voice messaging. Available in most areas. Some restrictions apply.
Come in.
Hi, Dr. Steenburgen?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, my name is Rocco. Billy Rocco?
Oh, yes, my receptionist said it was urgent.
Yeah, that's right, Doc. Listen, I'm pouring cement on top of that high-rise building next door.
Yes?
Well, listen, Doc, I got some good news and I got some bad news.
All right, let's start with the bad news.
Okay, bad news is we had a little accident with some wet cement last night. Unfortunately, no one noticed until just now. Can you believe it?
What happened?
There were 2 tons of solid concrete in your parking lot. What? Hey, don't worry, Doc. Hold the phone. We'll get it out of there.
Well, where? I mean, what's the good news?
Oh, you are a very lucky man, Doc.
Get on with it, Mr. Rocco.
And you are extremely fortunate.
Okay.
All right, the good news is your car? He's under that concrete.
Lucky you. Just when you need a new car, the 97 Honda clearance arrives. What better time to pick up a stylishly reliable 97 Accord?
Hey, Doc, we just struck sheet metal over here.
The Honda 97 clearance. Timing is everything, isn't it? Paint a picture. Ron.
Hello?
Has just stepped in to a local home improvement center.
Welcome to Home World.
Oh, thank you. I need some paint.
Oh, do we have paint? Do we have? Oh, yeah, it's over in Paint Town. Here's your map.
Oh, it's Paint Town?
No, the tram station.
Tram station?
Well, you can't walk to Paint Town.
No.
If Ron had come to Kellymore Preservative, where we only do paint, he would have walked into the paint department as he walked through the door.
Welcome to the Home World Tram. Our first stop is Loveland, where fantasy comes to life.
Since 1908, Kellymore Preservative has serviced the painting needs of professional contractors and people like Ron, not spreading ourselves thin with a bunch of departments.
Next up, the Fritz Farm, where all your dreams are harvested gold.
I'm dreaming of Paint Town.
This tram doesn't stop at Paint Town. What? So you need to transfer to the front.
Kellymore Preservative, we only do paint.
It's time to paint, and every Kellymore Preservative paint, interior and exterior, is on sale now through August 3rd at your local Kellymore Preservative paint store. It's where you want to be for dinner. It's Houlihan's Restaurant. Treat yourself to tender chicken breasts stuffed with savory herb and garlic cheese, sautéed and topped with a made-from-scratch dill butter sauce. Houlihan's, now open on South Center Parkway.
1:45, Cairo News Radio 710, the Dori Monson Show. Back to your phone calls. Jim, Silver Lake. Hello, Jim. You're in Cairo.
Hello, Dory.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, most of my comments have already been taken up. I'd originally thought if you had posted your piece of notebook paper on the school bulletin board, the principal certainly would have taken it down.
Yeah, but this was not a school bulletin board. It's the Internet.
It's exactly the same. The Internet police did not go into this guy's bedroom and erase the file off his hard disk. They did not rip up all the hard copies he has. He still has it.
Right.
But we as parents and grown-ups have to set examples for minors. I mean, this kid's using the names of some minors on the Internet. You say that there's a page on there that says how to kill Jews, the best way to kill Jews. You know, that makes me sad to think of it, but I would not say it should be taken off the Internet. However...
That should not be?
Not as it is. However, if they had listed the names of some specific 13-year-old Jewish girls that should be killed, I would definitely have a different opinion.
So making bombs and how to shoot federal agents and all that should be allowed as long as it's in the abstract?
It's generic. It's kind of like TV violence. I hope that kids can make a distinction that this is kind of some stupid generic information that's out there, but when it starts to get personal, that's the time to draw the line.
No, what about the fan pages that are out there for celebrities where, guys fantasize about what they'd like to do with Terry Hatcher? That's on the Internet.
Well, if you're in the limelight, I guess you're signing up for it. But we have to set an example. Maybe these kids should be more subtle. Use a little humor, some pseudonyms, maybe the first name and then some funny last name that only the kids at the school are going to get.
Do it all in code.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
But the Internet is kind of wide open, mainly because what are you going to do about it? Like, they don't know who did this.
Right, yeah, they still don't know.
If he'd had his own server, his own Internet server hooked up to the Internet, there'd be nothing we could do about it anyway.
Right,
so.
They were able to email whoever was doing it, but that's all they know about the
Well, yeah, he was using somebody else's server. He was signing up for a service, and I think the service did the job that the principal would do. He took it off the bulletin board.
All right, appreciate the call, Jim.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bye.
Stephen in Woodinville. You're on Cairo.
Yeah, hi, Dori.
Hello.
Just wanted to say about that GeoCities server. It's pretty hypocritical what they're doing.
How so?
Well, it is a free service, and anyone who wants to can sign up. They don't have to use a real name. I'm sure those boys didn't.
Right. In fact, they definitely didn't. They've already confirmed that.
Yeah. Anyway, like I had my webpage up there. I switched servers recently, but it had things on building bombs and killing federal agents and growing marijuana.
Your webpage did?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And
why?
Why?
Yeah. Why did you care enough about those subjects to put it up on a web page? I'm just curious.
Well, for one, it's something to do, and I was trying to stand up for my First Amendment rights.
Okay.
Speech.
Something to do, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and anyway, I've seen other people's web pages on GeoCities. They have pirated software, racist things,
right?
Porn. And all that's not allowed by GeoCities, yet it's still on there, and they don't do anything about it.
So they don't pull those pages?
No.
That's what you tell me. Okay. And yours got pulled?
No, it didn't.
You pulled it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to switch it to a better server.
Okay. And again, you put it up. I just want to make sure I have this. You put it up because it was something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's about 3 or 4 other free services that these boys could put their web page on. I just keep switching between them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Appreciate the call, Stephen. All right. That's Stephen. His webpage had information on how to kill people, how to grow marijuana, making bombs. He did it because it was something to do.
You're listening to Dori Monson on Cairo.
Imagine a world without sports. A grim world indeed, leaving only piles of yard work and errands to find ceramic tiles for the new patio, which you're putting in.
The horror!
But good thing for you, there are sports. Rudman and Steele on sports. Reaching out to 7 here on Cairo News Radio 710.
Rudman, Steele, thank you.
Mike Everett, one of the nice boys from Bellevue Lincoln Mercury.
You know the movie where the guy says, "Show me the money"? Well, folks have been coming in here since our 40th anniversary sale began saying, "Show me the savings." And I got to tell you, we move cars and trucks every time they say it, because nobody has savings like Bellevue Lincoln Mercury this month on Lincoln luxury cars, Villager minivans, and the Mountaineer and Navigator sport utility. Example, here's a fully loaded new 1997 Lincoln Continental on sale at just under $31,000. Or a new, well-equipped 97 Town Car at just under $30,000. And we've got terrific sale prices on family minivans, Mercury Sables and Cougars, and there's special financing rates on approval of credit. Seriously, if that's possible around here, we can show you the savings.
Don't miss the huge anniversary sale at Bellevue Lincoln Mercury, just off Northeast 8th on Bellevue's Auto Row. VIN numbers posted at dealership. Sale prices net of all rebates and good through July 31st.
Back in 1985, Dale Carlson opened his first Sleep Train store. He's always offered his customers better prices, better service, and a better selection of name brand mattresses. So any time is the right time to go into Sleep Train, but sometimes they have some extra special deals for you, and they've done that right now. They've got a special purchase of name brand select mattresses, including Sealy Posturepedic and Simmons Beauty Rest. You'll save big. They have Beauty Rest and Posturepedic queen sets at Sleep Train, starting at just $399. Plus, on approved credit, you'll pay nothing until next year. No down payment, no monthly payment, and absolutely no interest until 1998. And as always at Sleep Train, you'll receive the finest service anywhere with free same-day delivery. You go in right now, buy your bed, you'll be sleeping in it tonight. They'll set it up for you. They'll even remove your old mattress and donate it to charity for free. 7 locations, Olympia to Linwood, including downtown Bellevue, Northeast 8th and Bellevue Way, across from Bellevue Square. Sleep Train's your ticket to a better night's sleep.
I can't believe it. You won the lottery?
Yeah, but I don't want to blow it. Where do I find someone to give me good money management advice?
Oh, jeez, anybody could do that.
What?
Just grab a list of names and throw a dart.
Dartboards and guesses aren't the best way to find a financial planner, and they also don't work very well when looking for someone to help you with the biggest financial transaction of your life, buying or selling a home.
So what do? Look for a flyer in the mail? Pull a name off a sign? Of course not. So call a RE/MAX agent. Why RE/MAX? Education and training. Every real estate agent would love to have an ABR degree, but it takes a high level of commitment. It's no surprise that of all the agents who have completed the ABR degree, almost 60% are RE/MAX agents. Why RE/MAX? Satisfied customers. RE/MAX agents average twice as many referral and repeat customers as typical agents. People love their RE/MAX agent. To find a RE/MAX office nearest you, call now 1-888-NOW-RE/MAX. Why RE/MAX? Don't you want the best?
153 at KIRO News Radio 710. The Dori Monson Show. Amy in Algona. Hi, Amy. You're on KIRO.
Hi, Dory.
Hi, Amy.
I think the GeoCities had the right to pull that page.
They had the right. I'm not arguing their right to do it.
Well, the kids were in complete violation of the page content guidelines.
Right. My question is, not did they have a right to pull it, but should they have pulled it? Is what these kids did so much worse than what so many other people are doing on the Internet?
If it were another site that they had put it on that didn't have the rules that the GeoCities has, then no, they can't pull it.
So if it had been a different Internet, I mean, you're just basing this on a technicality then. I'm just talking about should kids have the right...
What they did was mean,
yeah. What they did was mean, it was stupid, but...
All kids do that.
Should kids have the right to do mean, stupid things and to post it like that?
I guess kids have to learn from doing mean, stupid things, so it's going to happen whether or not it gets pulled or not.
So you're saying if they'd had an Internet service provider that allows that sort of content, you wouldn't have a problem with them doing that and keeping it up there?
Not that I would visit that particular site.
Right. But you would defend their right to do it if they had an ISP that allowed that sort of thing.
They have the right to do it, yes.
Okay.
If they're... what am I trying to say? If they're offending those girls or whatever...
Right.
And the girls request that their names not be used or their pictures not be used, then they should have learned the judgment not to do that.
Yeah,
but
judgment...
If they do it, then that's their own business, I guess.
Judgment and 13-year-old boy rarely goes hand in hand, those two phrases.
Right.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate the call, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matt in Bellevue. Matt, we have less than a minute here.
Okay. Hi, Dory.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, I had an idea. My first idea was that the provider is a lot like a publisher, and a publisher can reject whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But now, thinking about it, at the school I go to Central Washington University. I'm a non-trad student.
Right.
But that's an old establishment, and in some of the bathrooms, there are old chalkboards. And in these old chalkboards, you used to be able to write whatever graffiti you wanted to.
Right.
You could rank the girls, and if one of the administrators came in, they could erase it. Now, they don't provide chalk anymore, so people have etched in hate symbols and other comments about some of the departments. And some of them have been, some have been slightly erased, but you can still tell that they're there.
Yeah, well, and I'm sorry, I'm just flat out of time here, but this sort of thing goes on, whether it's on the Internet or not.
The Dori Monson Show on KIRO.
A leading Seattle area auto dealer has been directed to conduct a used car disposal. One day only, Saturday, July 26th. Whatever vehicle you're sitting behind the wheel of at 10 a.m. will be slashed hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Some slashed to as low as $99. This Saturday only, July 26th. Exclusively at Harris Ford, 200th and Highway 99 in Linwood.
Well, it seems like only yesterday, but this month marks Tulalip Casino's 5th anniversary, and they're celebrating with terrific cash prizes July 18th through 27th, including 5 daily drawings of $55, 1 daily drawing of $555, and on July 19th and 26th, grand prize drawings of $5,555. So don't miss Tulalip Casino's Fab 5 5th anniversary, July 18th through 27th. High 5 at exit 199 Marysville. Tulalip Casino.
What's on your list today?
Well, here we are, right in the middle of summer. And I don't know about you, but I've got a long list of stuff to do. But I'm going to bring the list of Freddy's and start checking them off. Let's see, stain for the deck, new boards for the fence, maybe a ceiling fan. Hey, I'm getting a lot done here. Now, for the barbecue, let's start with a nice juicy cut of meat, fresh watermelon, corn on the cob, all that great food at lower prices every day. Now, I know we need some new summer clothes, and most places wait until September to put that stuff on sale. But Freddy's just reduced a whole bunch of summer clothes to 30% off original prices. Selected shorts, sandals, tank tops, skirts, clothes the family wants to wear right now. Get details at the store. Okay, so maybe my list isn't so long. How's yours?
You'll find it at
And come celebrate the grand opening of the newly remodeled Everett Fred Meyer on Evergreen Way. You could win a trip to Las Vegas or a new bike and lots more. Join the fun. We'll see you there. It's Car Toy Talk with President Dan Bretler.
And my special guest, Sergeant Rock.
I'm a communications specialist.
I've got this new digital cell phone, but it doesn't work east of the mountains, doesn't work in Phoenix, doesn't even work at my house.
Because that's not a power band digital phone.
Power Band is AirTouch Cellular's secret weapon.
It's the best-sounding cellular technology ever, and Power
Boys, now get a better-than-free Motorola flip phone with $100 free accessories, free activation, 1 month free access, plus 1,000 weekend and evening minutes free. And now get free activation with a Seiko message watch. It's a pager and a watch in one.
Others make you choose between coverage and call quality. Come to Car Toys and get it all. Better way to go.
Now during Car Wars, get a free cell phone, free activation, 1,000 weekend and evening minutes free, and 1 month free access worth $30. Service provided by AirTouch Cellular. 15 Car Toy stores. Call 1-888-CAR-TOYS.
KIRO, Seattle.
CBS News, I'm David Dow. With the suicide of Andrew Cunanan, one of the biggest criminal searches in U.S. history is all over except for the questions, and there are many. Correspondent Barry Bagnato brings us up to date.
Andrew Cunanan put a .40 caliber handgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. FBI Deputy Director William Esposito.
We would have preferred that Mr. Cunanan be taken alive because we feel that there is good evidence that he would have been prosecuted and gone to jail.
He says Cunanan contacted at least one acquaintance asking for help to obtain a false passport. Miami Beach Police Chief Richard Barretto considers the investigation open.
There are many questions still unanswered.
No suicide note or videotape was found on the houseboat where Cunanan killed himself. The German-born owner is being sought for questioning, although friends say he didn't know Cunanan. Barry Bagnato, CBS News, Miami.
He wrote more than 1,200 opinions and was one of the most influential jurists in American history. Retired Supreme Court Justice William Brennan died today. He was 91. Brennan shaped the landmark one-person, one-vote principle of political reapportionment, defined obscenity, and broadened the concept of individual rights. Among those mourning him, President Clinton, as correspondent Mark Knoller reports.
In a heartfelt tribute, the president called William Brennan a remarkable human being and one of the finest and most influential jurists in American history.
His devotion to the Bill of Rights inspired millions of Americans and countless young law students, including myself.
In fact, the president said that during Brennan's 34 years on the high court, he was perhaps the staunchest, most effective defender of individual freedom against government intrusion. Mark Knoller, CBS News at the White House.
Bowing to criticism, America Online is dumping a plan to rent out the phone numbers of its 8 million subscribers to telemarketers, selling everything from vehicle services to travel. However, the company says it is considering having its own employees call members to sell the same services. The same British scientists who brought you Dolly, the cloned sheep, have now cloned Polly the lamb, which carries human genes. Adam Rayfield reports from London.
Now there are 5 cloned lambs called Polly, produced by the same technique as Dolly, but they're transgenic, and one carries a human gene. Genetics professor Martin Bobrow of Cambridge University was excited they proved cloning works, that Dolly was not a lucky accident.
They have shown that they can use this to produce tailor-made
products that could be used for treating diseases, and that was always one of the potential real benefits of this technology.
The company says it can now produce instant flocks of identical lambs for medical use. Adam Rayfield, CBS News, London.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials rolled to a third straight record close, climbing 28.5 points to almost 8117. Big board volume topped 575 million shares. This is CBS News.
This is today's GT Global Millennium Minute. The countdown is on.
It's July 24th, 1997. 890 days until the year 2000. 100 years ago today, in 1897, pioneer American aviator Amelia Earhart was born in Kansas. Earhart was so captivated by stories of the Canadian Royal Airmen, she became a pilot. In 1932, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic and was hailed as a national hero. She continued to set new goals and break records. In 1937, as she was attempting to fly around the world, Earhart disappeared somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. No trace of the pioneer aviator was ever found. But Amelia Earhart's legend lives on. I'm Bill Plant, CBS News.
This GT Global Millennium Minute was brought to you by GT Global Mutual Funds, a member of Liechtenstein Global Trust, bringing investors a world of opportunity.
Danny has been returned to tropical storm status as it moves east away from the U.S., about 45 miles off the Virginia coast. Former Republican Chairman Haley Barbour stepped before Senate investigators today and made a spirited defense of his operation of the party and a nonprofit group, the National Policy Forum.
I'm going to do my best to keep my own outrage under control, both out of deference to the Senate, but also because my interest is served by getting out the truth.
Barbour disputed testimony and documents indicating he knew that the National Policy Forum was backed by a foreign loan guarantee. After a 2-week trial, a Los Angeles jury has begun deliberations in the slander suit against actor Carol O'Connor, star of television's All in the Family. He's being sued by Harry Perzigian, whom he's denounced for providing cocaine to his son Hugh. Hugh O'Connor killed himself after years of drug addiction. I'm David Dow, CBS News.
KIRO, News Radio 710. The more you listen, the more you know.
It's 2:05 at KIRO News Radio 710. I'm Alan Ray. The Washington State Supreme Court today ruled 8-1. The state's authority to protect citizens from illegal drugs outweighs the right of cancer patient Ralph Seeley of Tacoma to treat his pain with marijuana. The Supreme Court ruling overturns a Pierce County ruling that would have allowed Seeley, who has been representing himself in court, to use marijuana to treat his terminal bone cancer.
Ralph Seeley is one of my heroes. This is an incredible blow to him. He's put his life behind the